So today we are going to be doing our Premier League predictions for the week of March 31st and April 1st. So we're gonna start out the game with Crystal Palace versus Liverpool. So which way do you think that's gonna go?
Well, I don't see any way Crystal Palace can beat Liverpool. Liverpool are playing really, really well. And a team like Palace, although they did win this past weekend against Huddersfield, which most people, well, seemed like a lot of people thought that Huddersfield would win that game. I thought Huddersfield would win that game, but Palace ended up winning. So I guess they're on a decent run of form right now, but to me, Liverpool's in a different class, and their offense is just too powerful.
So what do you think the score is going to be?
I think it'll be at least 3-0, maybe 3, maybe even more, maybe like 4-1, something like that. I think Liverpool will probably win by at least 3 goals. But the interesting thing now is going to be, who are they going to rest? Because now we're moving into Champions League fixtures. Liverpool has a really tough draw against Man City in the Champions League. They can't win the Premier League. So
Really, Man City is already taking it to the next level.
you're right.
They basically won it, but they're gonna want to keep playing to try to get Champions League next year. So they're gonna want to keep performing, except not all their top players against some of the lower team clubs.
Right, so that makes me wonder if it was me, if it was my decision, I'd almost want to rest, definitely rest Mo Salah, and maybe even rest a guy like Firmino, and I think they could still win the game even without their 2 main goal scorers. So
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Palace will at least have 1 goal from either Townsend or Benteke, because those guys have been performing pretty well. Yeah, and they played really good in the game against Huddersfield. So I think it's going to be a maybe 4-1, 3-1 victory for Liverpool. Okay. Next we got Brighton Hove Albion versus Leicester City. I think that one's going to be close. But I think Leicester City is going to pull it out in the end.
yeah, I mean, Leicester spanked West Brom 4-1 a couple weeks ago. So, and Brighton lost to Everton, and Everton are having a really, really bad year. So
They're in 9th place. They're doing okay. They're doing good.
based on the amount of money that Everton spent, they're not having the season they wanted for sure. So I'm gonna say Leicester by 2 goals. Leicester's gonna win that game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be maybe 2-1, 2-0. Okay, and then we have Manchester United versus Swansea. I think we all know who's probably going to win that game. It's going to be Man U, but Swansea have tried to turn their season around. They're fighting the relegation zone. They're kind of up in that area. But I think it's going to be maybe 3-0 Manchester United. How about you?
I agree. I think Man U can win that game easily by 3 goals.
Yeah, they're not worrying about Champions League anymore. Really, the only reason they would want to rest any players is for FA Cup.
Yeah,
They don't have to worry about the Champions League anymore. And then we got Newcastle United versus Huddersfield. That one's going to be a hard decision, but I think Newcastle's going to win. Huddersfield haven't been really performing great lately. Yeah, they got 2 losses and 1 draw in their last 3 games, going on a bad record, but then you're looking at Newcastle United. They've done a little bit better with 1 loss, 1 win, and 1 draw in their last 3 games. So I think Newcastle United is going to bring it out by 1 goal, 2-1. How about you?
I think this game could go either way. I'm gonna say 1-1 draw.
Okay. And then next we have Watford Bournemouth. It's gonna be tough. Yeah. Watford down to 11th place. 1 win, 2 losses in their last 3 games. And then, yeah.
Bournemouth and Watford are, on paper, they're pretty evenly matched. Bournemouth sits in 10th. Watford sits in 11th. Bournemouth. I'm gonna have to go with. I'm gonna have to go with Watford on this one. I think Watford's kind of reeling, especially after they got spanked by Arsenal. So.
Yeah, I'm going to say 1-1 draw. Okay, next game. West Bromwich Albion, Burnley. I have to say Burnley. West Brom, bottom of the table. Really, all they can focus on is doing good in EFL League Championship next year. Maybe try to save their money, spend some new guys, try to get back in the Premier League. But yeah. West Bromwich Albion, so far doing terrible. They've lost all their past 5 games. And then you look at Burnley. Burnley sitting in 7th place. They've had 1 draw and 2 wins in their last 3 games. So I think it's going to be Burnley 2-0.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Burnley's going to win by a couple goals. I think that, the sad reality is that Burnley could catch Arsenal. So they're sit just below Arsenal on the table. I don't think that'll happen. I think that Arsenal will finish the season in 6th place, but Burnley's a great team and considering the amount of money they've spent, which is nothing compared to what Arsenal has spent, it's amazing that they're having the season that they're having. So full credit to them.
Yeah, and we got West Ham versus Southampton. Both teams, Southampton in a mess. West Ham is in a mess too, but I can't see either of them winning. I think it's going to be at least 1-1. Yeah, Southampton, West Ham, both in a big mess. They're both fighting to stay in the Premier League, not go down in Champions League, but I just don't see them. I don't see Southampton getting out of the relegation zone. I really don't. And then Everton versus Manchester City. They're both really good teams, but it's going to be Manchester City. They pulled it out against everybody. They've beaten everybody. They want to double up on Everton. So my guess is Man City. Everton could try to salvage a couple goals out of it, but Man City is going to win.
I can't imagine a scenario where Man City loses that game.
The only scenario I would is if they're resting all their players for Champions League.
Yeah, which I don't think they will.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. They're saying that Sergio Kun Aguero has an injury and he's going to be out. I almost feel like maybe he does have a little knock, but I think they're already thinking, hey, we need to start resting our good players. I think they can get past Everton without him.
Yeah, I think they're gonna put in Gabriel Jesus for Aguero. And then Arsenal versus Stoke City. It's gonna be, as I mentioned in the last video, it's gonna be really hard for Stoke to pull out those 3 points. Arsenal beat Stoke at the beginning of the season. Arsenal won a victory. They got their 2 new signings, Mkhitaryan and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. What do you think? I think it's going to be 3-1.
I think that Arsenal, if Arsenal's firing on all cylinders, Lacazette is supposed to be back. I doubt he'll start that game.
Yeah, they want to make sure he's all fit. I think that it will be 1 goal from Aubameyang and maybe 2 from Mesut Ozil. That'd be my guess. And then really it's anybody for Stoke with what they're in. And then Chelsea versus Tottenham Hotspur. You really can't decide who's going to win that game.
Yeah, I can.
Well, you can, but
Spurs.
I'd say Chelsea.
Okay. We'll see. I think when you look at
Both of them don't have to worry about Champions League anymore, so they're going to play all their top players.
yeah, but who does Murata is had a mediocre season considering the amount of money they spent on him. I mean, to me, Spurs when you have Harry Kane, Dele Alli, and you have Son, who's in an amazing run of form right now. I feel pretty strongly that the Spurs are going to win that game.
Oh yeah, looking at it on paper, it's going to be Tottenham Hotspurs because they've won 4 out of their 5 previous games, and they drew. Their latest draw is against Liverpool 2-2, and then in the last 5 games, Chelsea has only won 2 and they've lost 3. So when you look at it, the statistics, it's Tottenham Hotspurs, but anything can happen in soccer.
Yeah, and Chelsea is still Chelsea, so Chelsea could show up and win the game, and but I just if I was betting money, my bet's on the Spurs.
Okay. Well, thank you for watching. Make sure to click the subscribe button, and if you have any predictions, put them in the comment section below. Bye.